Good evening. Let's get right to breaking news at 5 and a major crash on Highway 26. It has the road closed in both directions near Banks. This is about 25 miles west of downtown Portland.
Now, we don't have many details on the crash yet, but it happened about an hour ago. We will update you when we learn more. But again, Highway 26 is closed in both directions near Banks. Now, this comes as an atmospheric river hits the northwest in a big way. The rush of rain and wind toppling trees and taking out power in some places. Tonight, widespread outages have almost 13,000 people from Vancouver to Salem in the dark. Thank you for joining us. I'm Laurel Porter.
And I'm David Molko. Downed trees are also causing trouble on the roadways, including one that fell on another stretch of Highway 26 this morning, blocking some lanes near the Oregon Zoo. We have full team coverage this evening from the coast to the valley, starting with Chief Meteorologist Matt Zaffino, because Matt, it is a mess out there.
It certainly is, David. Yeah, and we're right in the middle of this too. It's going to be a while before things begin to improve in terms of the weather, and the impacts, as you just described, are widespread, and we're likely going to have more of those as we go through the nighttime hours. Here's Doppler radar. I mean, it's raining hard from almost Vancouver, BC, clear down to Eugene, although up in the Puget Sound, we're beginning to see the back edge of this rain band, but that's still a couple of hundred miles to our north. So we got a ways to go before we get out of this heavy rain that's been hammering the area basically all day long, and the wind as well. And those are both going to keep up for the next several hours. Here's our hour-by-hour rainfall forecast. 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock, nearly another quarter of an inch. It backs off a little bit for an hour, but then it picks right back up. And by 11 o'clock, we're up to over an inch of rain in addition to what we've already had today, which is already over an inch of rain. So that's going to get us over 2 inches for the Portland area for the day today. Some of the rain amounts that we've seen so far up in the high terrain, very impressive. Bull Run, 6.41 inches. I need to check that again. It's probably over 6.5 inches by now. Jewel in the Coast Range over 5 inches. Up at June Lake on the south side of Mount St. Helens, nearly 5 inches. Same at Meadows. In Larch Mountain, Washington, about 4 inches of rain. That's right where that fire was this fall. So we're getting heavy rain on fire burn scars. That is a recipe for flash flooding, and hence we have flash flood watches out for those areas. So the heavy rain continues till about 10 o'clock to midnight. That's when it's going to begin to taper off and move from north to south. That's in the Portland area. But if you live in Salem or south of Salem, your heavy rain is going to last longer. It's just going to take longer for the system to move on through. The winds will also begin to back off at that time. So far, the winds have been gusting in the metro area about 35, 40 miles an hour. That's going to continue for the next several hours. Then over the weekend, it's going to be rainy still, but not the intense rainfall that we've seen today. It's also going to be colder, and we'll begin to get heavy snow in the Cascades as early as later tonight and tomorrow morning. So we'll talk more about that and the rest of the atmospheric river story in a bit. Guys?
Wow, those rainfall totals. All right, thank you, Matt. From there, let's go to Brian Clerkley in southwest Portland. Brian, what are you seeing right now?
Hey, David, I'm right over the 405. The wind and the rain is picking up. So if you're traveling right now, you do want to be careful. We've been out on the roads all day. We were on Germantown Road earlier, and a tree fell on the power lines over there. That road was closed for several hours this morning. And a lot of residents say they're prepared for all of this rain, but they hope things don't get too bad. Kevin O'Connell's power went out for a few hours this morning. He lives on Germantown Road, and crews worked all day throughout the area to get power back on. And by this afternoon, that tree was cleared out, but you could still see pieces of it lying in the road. O'Connell says that he is ready for the worst.
Just got all the flashlights and batteries ready, firewood for the fireplace, and just generally prepared.
And at Northeast 69th and Gleason, trucks work to clear clogged drains full of leaves and backing up rainwater. And on Southeast 11th and Lexington in the Selwood Moreland area, a tree fell on a power line, so you could see the roots sticking up in the road on that tree. And take a look at the 405 right now. The traffic is picking up, and this is just some advice from PBOT. They would like people to clear out or check the drains near their homes and use a rake to clear out the debris from those drains. David, Laurel?
Good suggestion, but I'll say my ride in this afternoon was no picnic, so if you can, stay home. Thanks a lot, Bryant. Let's take a look at Newport from our sky camera there, and just like the valley, the rain has been heavy on the coast most of the day. Our Mike Benner traveled to the coast and talked to some of the locals about this November deluge.
A look at the surf just south of Cannon Beach late Friday morning. If this is the calm before the storm, then the storm is sure to be a doozy. None of which bothers those who live on the Oregon coast.
Hey, you just got to get out and do what you got to do every day. After a while, you don't even know it's raining.
We met Steve in downtown Cannon Beach. As you can see, there was some foot traffic on this first Friday in November, but certainly not a lot of it.
Slow, pretty slow, but still a few stragglers coming in.
Katie Bright is the manager at Sweetert's Cones and Candy. The recent transplant from New Mexico believes the steady rainfall has a lot to do with the slow day.
I was expecting this. They warned me it always rains in the Pacific Northwest, and this is what I was expecting year-round. Tolerable for a week or so, but probably not all the time.
Not if it means commutes like this one. You're looking at a snippet of our drive on Highway 101 from Cannon Beach to Seaside, where we stopped to take a peek at the Nicanicum River. It appeared to be higher than normal, a result, of course, of the heavy rain that won't be letting up for hours.
You know, get some hot chocolate and warm up by the fire and just stay cozy.
This is just par for the course for us, so hunkering down, winter's here.
We are aware of a crash along Highway 30 earlier today, just east of Astoria. At this point, it's too early to tell how big of a role, if any, weather played in that crash. Regardless, a spokesperson for ODOT says because of this rain, we need to be driving slower than we normally do and with caution. Reporting from just south of Seaside, I'm Mike Benner for KGW News.
And from the coast, let's head to the Cascades with powerful winds hitting Mount Hood. At one point, the gusts reaching 114 miles an hour on Timberline's Magic Mile. Now, because of conditions, the National Weather Service now advising people to avoid going out in the mountains this weekend, though some already looking forward toward ski season.
This is the weather that we need, so we're waiting for the storms to really fill in the spots, and it's going to be a great winter.
Looks like he's ready to go sledding there. Okay, a quick reminder, if you are planning to head through any of the passes this weekend, check those road conditions before you head out. Be ready with things like chains, blankets, and extra supplies.